Hey, everybody. Welcome to the MURCA Guns and Freedom podcast. As usual, I am your host, Yankee, and this is just an open conversation. I'm here to answer your questions, address your topics, open myself up to challenges. If you want to challenge me on anything I have said or done that might piss you off, I think I pissed off some people. I lost a lot of supporters over that Trump design I did. And I think they think it means something it doesn't, but it just shows you the problem we have in this country right now with people being divided right and left, and they never think the other side could possibly ever do something right. So instead of hoping for the best, they actually pray for the worst so that they can gloat. Like I said, if you've got a problem with something I've said or done, come in and let me know. Talk to me about it. Don't just freak out. I will get to the regular questions here in a minute. First, I like to read the names of people that have purchased merchandise to help support the Pets and Vets Fund. So let me get over there, see what we got coming in orders over here. I think I've already sent them all through, but I think we had some come in today because I know I sent them through. All right, yes, here they are right here. We got Samuel White purchased some items over there. Stephen Angel, or Angle, I don't know how you pronounce that, bought some stuff. He asked for the orange shirt yesterday, and I made it, and he bought it. He bought some other stuff, too. And Emmanuel Fernandez got himself a shirt today, the Phil shirt, the Cosmic Octopus shirt. So thanks to those people for purchasing. We lost people on Subscribestar, multiple people, and we really lost people on Patreon. We lost like 11 people on Patreon, which, it's the end of the month. So a lot of people leave so they don't get charged again. What really is sad, we lost one of our biggest supporters on both platforms, Patreon and Subscribestar. So I don't know what I did to piss them off, but I'm betting it was probably the Trump stuff. Or I don't know, they might be a Trumper for all I know. That's not something I ask people. I don't want to know whether you support Trump or not. I hope that you support the country. And you might hate Trump, love Trump. You might love Biden, hate Biden, whatever. But I hope in the end, even if we have different tastes in politicians, that we still have the best interests of the country at heart. And no matter who's in charge, we hope they do the right thing and make us stronger, not weaker. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. Hoping for it and thinking it's going to happen is two different things. You should always hope for it, but you should always not expect it. Let's just say that. But as I was saying, so I'm not really going to cover that because I don't think we got any new people on either Subscribestar or Patreon. I don't know if Igor, he upped his membership. That's about the only thing that happened. Well, that was the only positive thing. But let's go ahead and get over here to questions. Remember, if you want to become a patron of the channel, I forgot to close the damn windows up here again. Boom. If you want to go over become a supporter of the channel, you can go to tympistolproject.com, like it says right here. Go over there, become a patron, Subscribestar member. You can even donate on a one-time basis. You can also buy merchandise like my Sasquatch shirt here in his shooting attire, his single action shooting attire there. Sasquatch, get it? Single action shooting society squatch. You can go over and buy merchandise like that. I got tons of designs over there, and it all goes to support the TYMP program to help provide firearms for people who live on fixed incomes, elderly people, etc., that wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it. So we want to help them be able to defend themselves because freedom and the protection of the Second Amendment is for everybody, just not ones that can afford it. So go on over and help out the cause if you possibly can. I won't sell you discount codes or anything like that, so I make profit off of, but I do ask people to help with causes that help other people. So feel free to help out. And the Pets and Vets program, do a super chat. All that stuff helps. Or become a patron member or anything like that. But let's get to the questions here. We did have one super chat coming in through YouTube real quick I need to answer. Danny Pint says, I'm sorry, my funds changed and I had to make some choices. I'm doing more volunteer work and still donating directly to certain charities. Well, good for you. Do as much good as you can. If everybody did what they could, most of us wouldn't have to do as much as we do. If everybody did a little, instead of a few people doing a lot, if we had everybody doing a little, it would end up to way more than the a lot did. If that made any sense, if anybody knows what I'm talking about there. Let me go over here and see what other super chats we got coming in before I get to. Oh, remember, if you want to send in pictures, anything you want to share with the group, send it to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. Just send a little context with it. If you got a new gun, new car, new pets, whatever, feel free, send them over. We'll share them. shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. Do it during the chat, though. If you send it during the day, like if you're watching this tomorrow and you send stuff in early, probably never going to see it. But if you send it in while we're actually taping this, which is every night at 6 p.m., except for Wednesdays, it's at 7. If you come in then, I should see them and we'll share them. Let me get over here to activity. Activity. What is today? The 29th? Yes, because tomorrow is my court date. Tomorrow's the 30th. Michael White chimed in here. I think he actually sent this in late last night. I don't know if he said anything. He just said TYMPPP for TYMPPP. After him, we got Christopher Kassab. I do believe that was just a recurring payment supporting TYMPPP. And then after Christopher Kassab, we got Dale Rickety weighing in. Let's see, what did Dale Rickety say? After he's already made fun of me once tonight, which you would have seen if you were at the live chat. All hail Phil, and I have nothing. Well, you had $5, you see. You got less than you did before now because you paid your tithe to Phil. That's a purchase. That's a purchase. Justin Jaime. What did he say here? Try to make up the difference. Is the per defender tier going up in price? So do I have to rejoin the tier? No, the pet defender tier is not going up in price. It's staying the same price. It's just that now you're going to be getting the series of patches for being a member. Because, the first month was to support the pets and vets, the Fur Friends Animal Rescue. Now it's just a way for people who want to support the Pets and Vets program instead of TYMPPP, but don't want to join Patreon. They can do it through the Pet Defender tier, and I'm going to be giving out those patches. I actually made a video the other day about that, and that cost me so many supporters. They're like, you're big and you're really. And I actually had one person say, you make fun of people like Mr. Guns and Gear and stuff. He don't ask me for shit. I'm like, all he does constantly is ask you to buy products and to use his discount code so he gets a cut. That's constantly what he's doing, is trying to get you to give him money. You just are too stupid to fucking realize it. We're trying to give money to charity and all this other stuff and trying to do good things. And name one other channel that actually gives out handguns to or a shotgun to 4 different families every month who couldn't afford to otherwise protect themselves, because the Second Amendment isn't just for those that can afford it. Name one more channel that does that. That ain't free. We got to make money somehow. And people think, oh, this channel makes so much money. I made on YouTube yesterday, I think $13, because they took about half my super chats. So yeah, you think this channel makes a lot of money? It does not. You think, oh, well, those Subscribe Star members, we bring in about, well, before we did the Pet Defender for TYMPPP over there, we bring in about $800 a month on Subscribe Star. And just buying the 4 guns every month costs around $1,200, much less shipping them and everything else. So, yeah, tell us how we're making bank. Those people they're so fucking stupid. Of course, that's a lot of people, but let me get back over here to the questions. Did I answer that? Oh, yeah, I got that. That was, who was that? It was Justin Jaime. But no, that tier is not going up in price. It's just, you're going to get patches every other month now until you get to the 6-month mark. And then after that, once you hit the year mark, you get the special patch that I'm having made. Jason Thompson paid his $2 tithe to Phil and says, did you watch the Ice-T video? No, I didn't. I need to watch it. I still got it queued up over here, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. You and Izzo hate people who drink and drive. I hate people who text and drive, especially cops. I hate people who drink and drive and text and drive. Every day, there ain't a day that I'm on the road. I can't say every day because I don't drive, but like once a week. But every day I'm on the road, I yell at somebody, get off your fucking phone. More so it bothers me when they're actually driving and they're on their phone and you see them weaving. But I also don't like it when you're behind them at like a stoplight and the light turns green and they're, I mean, that's a little safer than doing it while you're driving, but still, you're fucking inconveniencing everybody else. Stop doing it. Yeah, I don't like that either. And drinking and driving, there's never an excuse. People are like, well, what about under these circumstances? Don't put yourself in those circumstances, and you have total control over whether you end up in those circumstances or not. Because no one held you down and poured alcohol down your throat. A PSA Airlines jet had a mid-air collision and crashed at DCAA Airport in Washington this evening. Prayers to the families. Oh, I didn't know. I haven't seen any news, so I stopped watching the mainstream news, and I'm so much happier about it. But that was from Adam Jacoby. I guess he's just letting us know that. That is pretty bad. We don't have a lot of plane crashes in this country, but when they happen, it's bad. Jude Resiganola said, "All hail Phil." He paid his $2 tithe to Phil. Jonathan Aho, one of them Ahos, which I said, I'm not sure he's still alive, but he didn't say nothing. He paid his tithe to Phil, but he didn't say nothing. Make sure he didn't say anything. Let me check here. Nope, nothing. He's trying to be silent and mysterious. I still just think his wife killed him, is wearing his skin around pretending to be him. Let's see here. Hello, put me on the list as Dwayne White, please. Thank you. I said I didn't know which name you wanted, so let me change that to Dwayne. There we go. It is changed. You're on the list as Dwayne White, so you should be happy. One more super chat coming in through YouTube over here, I think. Let's see. Yes, trailers, looking for full trailers, which I have convinced myself that means I got a big caboose. I'm looking for somebody else with a big old caboose. Or maybe yet. I hope it doesn't have anything to do with scat play or anything, but I don't know what it means. How were the 1970s and 80s better for gun rights? They were not. That's what I said. I think you misunderstood me. I said for people that are old enough to remember the 70s and the 80s, gun rights were way worse back then. We have more rights now than pretty much anybody ever had. Since we've lived in a modern age, guns have been more restricted than they are now. Way more. People are like, well, did they restrict ARs? Well, they didn't have them back then, but they had semi-automatic rifles and stuff, but they didn't really have ARs at a certain point in history. But when I was a kid, we didn't have people concealed carrying. That wasn't nearly as big a thing. The vast majority of people would never thought about carrying a gun in their everyday life. People had guns, rifles in the back of their trucks, stuff like that, shotguns and stuff, but just carrying a gun around every day. If people found out you were carrying a gun every day, they thought you were some sort of criminal, some sort of schemer or something. So yeah, it wasn't common. Nowadays, attitudes towards concealed carry, rules guaranteeing your right to carry outside your home, constitutional decisions by the Supreme Court guaranteeing your right. And up until like the 2000s, it wasn't even decided whether the Second Amendment was a collective or an individual right. A lot of the courts upheld that it was a collective right. So things are so much better now than they were before when it comes to guns. And people just seem to ignore that. And that didn't just happen. That happened because people fought for it and people made a difference. So yeah, I hate when people don't give themselves the credit they deserve, because it is much better now as far as freely being able to exercise your Second Amendment rights. This is one of the only times in the history of this country where you can walk outside your door with a gun on your hip and say, the Supreme Court said this is my individual right to carry this gun for self-defense. It's about the only time you've ever been able to do that. So that's actually a good thing. So I think you misheard me. It was the opposite. I wasn't saying it was better back then. It was better now. I hope I said it right, because I have the mush mouth. I think most people know that by now. Sometimes what I'm saying and what I'm thinking aren't exactly the same thing. Sometimes they're not even close. Did I get Samuel White's? I think I did. Yes, he said put me on the list as Dwayne. Yeah, I got him. All right, we're all caught up with the supers. If you want to make a super chat, please do so if you're here live. If you're not here live, well, this will be a little hard. But let's see. Let's get over here to the regular chat. Oh, I didn't put it on live chat. Let me put it on live chat. I'm going to lose some stuff at the top, but we'll go back up as far as we can. You do make a lot of good points. That's the first thing I could see, and I agree with that entirely. I do make a lot of good points. At least I think so. And it's not just the point on my head. I think I make other good points. At least I think so, or else I wouldn't make them. Tariffs on new steel, aluminum, copper, and semiconductors. Get your cars now before the prices go up even more. Well, a lot of the prices probably won't go up because of the way they do it. If you're just buying, like, as long as you're assembling the products here in America, a lot of those tariffs won't have any effect on that kind of thing. And that's most what they assemble them here. But yeah, things like that do drive up prices. The tariffs do drive up prices. But here's the thing. If you do tariffs right, which they're not, they're basically saying, hey, this company is foreign owned, and the billionaire that I know wants me to hurt them so that it helps him build products cheaply overseas, and he doesn't pay the tariffs coming in because his product is American because it's owned by an American corporation, even though it's made overseas. They do a lot of that with the tariffs. If they didn't do that, if they just applied them evenly, yes, it would make prices go up. Yes, consumers pay it. This shit where Donald Trump goes, we're going to get rich from these foreign countries paying tariffs. No, we're not, because they don't pay them. The importers pay them. They pay the taxes. You're taking more money out of American pockets. That's just the way it is. The goal, though, from the tariffs is to make companies say, well, if I can buy these shirts in America for $8 instead of buying them for $4 overseas, and if I buy them from overseas, I got to pay a $4 tariff anyway. Well, then I might as well buy the $8 American ones and sell those and be able to say products are all made in America. You know, it's beneficial. So that's one of the outcomes you hope for. Also, you hope that these foreign companies that are like, wow, like if you're Honda and you're like, ooh, we just lost 30% of our market because of these tariffs. No one's buying Hondas anymore. They're buying the Toyotas that are made there. Well, we got to open some factories in the U.S. so that we're not subject to the tariffs. So we're going to have to employ some American workers. And it will drive up the price of goods overall a little bit because, they won't be making them as cheaply. But here's the thing right now, most of the prices aren't set by profit over cost. It's set by profit over cost if we made it here. And now we just get more profit because we make it over there. So if you just take that away from them, they can't keep that up over here. They can't say, we're going to mark it up an extra $10,000 just because we can. They can do that with the foreign product because it still keeps it competitive with the American-made product. So they get more profit. But if it's not like that, the price doesn't fluctuate that much. It costs them more. They just make less profit off of it. But here's the thing. If it's, well, we got to make a fair profit by making it in America or no profit because we can't sell them, well, you hope they start coming over here and producing product. That's what you hope these tariffs will do. The way he's doing it, won't do that at all. It'll just allow billionaire companies that already produce their stuff overseas to charge even more for theirs, because as long as they make it a small percentage less than what the other foreign owned companies produce it for, if theirs is just like $1 less than theirs is after the tariffs, since they don't pay the tariffs, well, then they'll sell more product. So right now it's just protecting billionaires and their profits. But if it was done right, it could work. It's just, I don't think Trump knows how to do it right. If he does, he doesn't care to. He's listening to the wrong people. He's listening to Musk and Bezos, etc. He's got all the wrong people in his ear because they're the only people that'll talk to him, because other people just sit back and hope he fails so that they can just point and laugh and say, told you so that it can consolidate their power. That was quite a rant I went on just there. Let me get back. Excuse me. Let me have a drink here real quick. Jason Thompson paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, I'm expecting a call from Lizzo. I hope he likes my raunchy jokes about cop and gin pop with Bubba. Oof. I don't know if he will or not. I don't know if I would try that. He might have delicate sensibilities like me. I'm easily offended. And I almost faint sometimes when some of the things y'all people say. I'm like, oh, that's too much. Justin Jaime chimed in again here. What do you say this time? What do you think about Trump's idea to cap credit card interest at 10%? Won't happen. It'd be nice. I don't know a downside to it. Now, somebody's going to come to me and go, well, here's the downside. And I'll be like, okay, I'm just a dummy. But I don't really see a downside to it because banks and stuff are crazy with the interest and the fees they charge. They do need to be reined in. They've paid so much to politicians to be able to do this shit over the years that it definitely does need to be reined in. These cars and these subprime loans and these bad credit loans that are just 23% interest, stuff like that. That's outrageous. It should be illegal. So I guess that would make it illegal, and I would be probably fine with that. But like I said, not an economist, don't know all the ups and downs of it, but I'll tell you what, on its face, it sounds good. So unless someone educates me to otherwise, I would probably support that. But, if Trump really wants to be doing stuff for people, why didn't he do that? Why doesn't he, he says, we've helping people we've crippled the IRS's ability to go after long-term cases. Well, that just helps rich people. That doesn't help us. If you wanted to help us, get rid of that new rule where they're making everybody report their Cash App and their PayPal and all that stuff, because that hurts, mothers that, crochet during the week while they're home and then sell it on Etsy or something. Artists who make stuff and sell it on the internet. That's the people that hurts. That hurts the poor people in the middle class. So get rid of that instead of weakening their ability to go after billionaires if you really cared about us, which they don't. And if, we're freezing government spending and we're cutting funding to these things and those things. Really? Well, why don't you cut the SpaceX funding? The billions and billions of dollars of taxpayer money going into Elon Musk's pocket. You don't see them cutting that. They'll cut money to education and Medicare and Medicaid. Well, how about first we cut off these big billionaire corporations with some of the richest men in the world taking tons of taxpayer money? Jeff Bezos gets so much taxpayer money. Elon Musk gets so much taxpayer money. It's not funny. So how about we quit doing that before you start worrying about whether you're giving too much money to a program that teaches kids to read? Instead of saying, do they really need that 200,000? Why don't you go, does Elon Musk really need that 50 billion? That makes a lot more sense. People are trying to give me high blood pressure tonight. I think that's the goal of most of these questions. And that's why it makes it so funny to me that's why I think it's so funny that some people think you're just supporting Trump. You're getting behind a Nazi. No, I don't support Trump in any way. I'm just making the point that people should hope for the best from their president and hope their country succeeds. Instead of coming at it with this, I hope he fails attitude. Because wouldn't you have loved it if Biden suddenly got a change of conscience and said, you know what? I got to quit going after guns. Guns are an American right. I'm going to say tomorrow, no more fucking gun laws. I'm going to make a executive order that says the ATF is to no longer deal with firearms, all this other stuff. If you did that, wouldn't you be like, great? You should have been hoping for that. But we don't. We just go, they're fucking gross and they'll never do anything right. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because it keeps us divided and it keeps them doing the things they're doing because that keeps us divided. If we united, I guarantee you they'd start doing what's right for the people. Trailers looking for full trailers says, is it true that if concealed carry was allowed everywhere, people would be less likely to leave their guns in their cars? I don't know. I would say that makes sense. That seems like a logical train of thought because I know a lot of the time people do leave guns in their cars. It's because they can't carry it where they're going. So I don't know if it had to be open carry or concealed carry, but I mean, if just carry, period, was allowed everywhere, open or concealed, I don't think it'd be hard to make an argument that less guns would be left in cars. Because a lot of people leave their gun in their car because they can't carry it certain places. And then sometimes they get home and they forget and they're like, oh, fuck, I left my gun in the back seat or, in the floorboard or whatever. And sometimes they leave that and that car gets broken into or stolen and there that gun's gone. So I think if they never took it off of them to begin with, then yeah, it's less likely they would leave it in the car. It's like saying, well, if cars didn't have outlets to charge phones and didn't have chargers in or phone chargers in the car, people would be less likely to forget their phone in their car. And it'd be true because why would you take it out of your pocket if you couldn't charge it in your car? And that's something I do all the time. I take it out, put it on the charger, especially in the Camaro. where it was behind, between the seats and behind. I'd put it on my charger back there. I'd leave it in there for days. Forget about it. Like 3 days later, I'd be like, where's my phone? And I'd be out there with like 100 emails and voice messages and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. I couldn't find a logical way that I would try to counter that argument. It just seems like it could only decrease it. It couldn't possibly increase it. So you would definitely be promised a good return, I would say. Got a hair in my mouth. I hope it's mine. Let's see here. Sent email subject, resend full auto 556. Okay, yes, I did ask people to resend me some stuff that I missed yesterday. Oh, here's one Jude sent. Let me share this one. Share screen, Winder, boom. He said, I finally got my holster for my PX4 compact from Muddy River. Took a month to come in after USPS dropped the ball. I've never had a Muddy River holster. Looks like it's cut for an RMR. Is that the Langdon Tactical PX4 Storm? Good job sucking your gut in. Yeah, it looks nice. I love a PX4 Storm. I keep thinking I might buy another one, but then I'm like, I don't carry polymer guns, so what'll be the point? Also, I had another email up here. Where did it go? Right here's the one from. Okay, I saw this yesterday. I'm going to show it to people here. See what you all think. I don't know if he's fucking with me or what here, but he sent this picture. Let me take down this so that you can see here. Boom. It says, I have replaced my plate too much. Have I gone past the line? I'm prepared to take a hit if pulled over. Thoughts? Oh, well, I mean, I don't know exactly what you're fighting against, what particular law. I mean, I guess licensing cars. But hey, who cares if people go too far? You're not hurting nobody else. If you're making a point you think is important, I say more power to you. It says, and his license plate now says, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, established 1791. Now, a lot of people go say, your car's going to get broken into from those stickers. I don't agree with that notion, because I had an actuarian friend tell me that's not true. But like I said, you do you, especially if you think you're fighting for something that's important. Why is this not closed? There we go. John Heasley sent a picture here. I have a puppy. I'll probably use that as my list, my title card tomorrow, because I've been using, if someone sends me a picture of animals during the chat, during when I post it live the next day, I've been using those pictures. So I'm going to save this attachment. Did I save it or did I just open it? No, I opened it. Save attachment. There we go. There we go. Okay. But there's your bulldog. Vicious dog. It looks vicious. Looked like he could lose a finger if you were giving him a treat. So that was Mavis. Mavis was not a mean dog at all. She was the sweetest thing in the world. But if you were handing her food, like if you were going to give her a treat, you had to get like close to her and then throw it in, because you didn't want to hold it down to her, because she would, and her jaws came together like a steel trap. It would break your fingers. So, I mean, I've had my fingertips nipped by it before and been like, motherfucker. So you didn't want to get your fingers too close to her mouth if she was going to be eating something. My nose is itching again. What the hell is that? I got another email here from Ozzy Orsborn. What does it say here? I guess he got a new holster. He's showing off here. Let me show. It looks like it's for a CZ. He didn't give me any context. Like, I don't know who made it or anything like that. Let's see if he gave context up above. Yeah, right there. I got a new CZ75 PO1 last week, making a holster in progress. Oh, he's making himself a holster. You still got to stain the insides and all that other stuff and seal the edges, but looking pretty good so far. Always helps to make you own. Always nice to be able to do something for yourself. All right, let's get back to the chat here. Casey Two Guns chimed in and says, please do a 327 versus 357 short barrel ammo test. I think I already did. I'm actually pretty sure I already did. Back when I used to own that LCR in 327. I think I did a test of it. I think I've still somewhere had the notes from it somewhere, because I'm pretty sure I made that already. If not, I'll think about it, but I think I made it already. All right, let's see here where we're at on the questions. How much time we got left? We only got 1 minute left, so we're about out of time for questions here. Where are we at? I think you should help me protect myself by buying me a new Colt Viper. You don't need to protect yourself anyway. You live in a vat in a fake state. So you don't have anything to worry about unless you're like virtually attacked by a virtual assailant. Court date from New Year's Eve? No, from a speeding ticket. Did you see that Colt is making a rear sight replacements to mount red dots? Well, those have been around for a while. Other companies have made similar things, but it's always a nice thing to have options. I like it better when they're built into the gun and part of the gun, and the design takes them into account rather than they're just added on later, because it ends up making it look a little weird. But it's always nice to have options. Army black helicopter flew into the flight path of commuter jet coming in for a landing, 60 passengers on the jet and whatever crew was on it. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Those poor suckers. That was some bad luck. Feel sorry for their families, which does just as much good as saying I'm praying for them, just feeling sorry for them. I do feel sorry for their families. And I'm, and then the evil side of me is like, better them than me. I'm glad it's not me. I'd rather be nobody, but if it has to be somebody, I'm glad it's not me or any of my family members. Well, some family members I'd be okay with. If you said like, oh my God, a plane went down, it took down this person from your family, I'd be like, well, that's all right. But otherwise, I do believe we are out of time. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Thank you for everybody for participating. Remember, if you want to support the channel, going over to TYMPPistolProject.com. There's links over there and different ways you can do different things you can do over there to help support the channel. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Thanks to everybody that does help support the channel. Thanks to everybody that helps participate, keep the chats rolling, etc. It's all appreciated. Everything the channel accomplishes is because you all make it so. So keep making it so if you all can't afford to. I appreciate if you're someone that doesn't make it so but can afford to, start making it so. Start becoming one of the good ones instead of one of those people. But thanks everybody for everything you do. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.